First, I'm using a primer, and I'm using Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I lied. I'm using NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in white, or in milk, and I actually depotted it into a little canister. So I'm using that as my primer. Now I'm using tan pigment, and this is by MAC, and I'm spraying a flat brush so that I can paint it on a little bit more vibrant. And I just sprayed some water. It's not even Urban Decay. It's water inside of there. So now I'm using a bronzer, and this is Casino Bronzer by NARS, and I'm brushing that all over my crease and a little bit on my transition. That was really it. Now I'm using Motives Cosmetics eyeliner in Noir, and this liquid eyeliner is so good. It's like one of my favorite things ever. I'm going to be really upset when I run out of it. Just take your time with your wing, and you know, whatever floats your boat. If you like a really strong one or a little baby wing, do that. Now I'm taking these lashes by Velour Lashes. I'm pretty sure they're either No You Didn't or Girl You Crazy. I think that's what I had. It's one of those two. And I'm using a Revlon eyelash adhesive, which I'm kind of just seeing if it works or not. I think it works. It dried pretty quickly actually, so I kind of liked that rather than the Duo Glue. Look how awesome they look. They're super big and dramatic. Now I'm using the same bronzer underneath my drop shadow, and I'm just kind of tying that all in. And with that tan pigment again, I'm putting that on the inner corner and a little bit underneath. Now I'm using Uninterrupted, which is a Prolong Wear eyeshadow by MAC. And I'm putting that on the crease just to kind of add a little bit more dimension because I felt like it was a little bit flat. So it was almost it, but not quite. Now for the concealer, I'm using L'Oreal True Match in W3 to 5. And then I'm also using a MAC Prep and Prime highlighting pen. I can't remember. I think it's Bright Forecast. Yeah, Bright Forecast. And I'm kind of adding that so that it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more dramatic than nothing. Because I do have like a simple eye, so I figured the highlighting could be a little bit played up. And I'm blending that out with a small dual fiber brush. To set that, I'm using Banana Powder by Ben Nye and setting that underneath my eyes. And I just got this new thing. It's called Luxury Powder also. It's called Clay. So it's a little bit deeper, and I'm using that to set my entire face. And it does have a hint of pigment in it, so it's going to be more suitable for tanner skin. Now I'm using Shade Stir, which is my all-time favorite contour color. And I'm using a little small brush to contour my cheeks and really carve them out a little. I'm using tan pigment again as my highlighter, and I'm using that pretty much all over the cheek, but mostly targeted to the cheekbones. And I just find that it just gives a really nice glow. And on tan skin, it works perfectly. If you're a little bit lighter, it's gonna come off as orange or like a pale brown. So just be careful with your color tones. Now I'm using this concealer. It's a Fit Me concealer, but it really doesn't matter what kind. And I wanted to just lighten up my brows, so I'm using a disposable spoolie, and I'm kind of running that along the concealer and then running that through my brows. And what that's doing is just pretty much like dulling out the color of my eyebrow, because I did want them just to look a little bit lighter. I've done this on a couple looks on Instagram, and I thought it might be beneficial to show you guys how I did that. They do come off a little bit gray looking, but I personally like that. I think it just looks kind of cool, and it's just a new fun way to do brows. And it's just fun to try out new things. Now, there are some sparse areas, so I'm just using a teeny bit on the very, very base of my brow. And this just kind of grounds it, and it looks a little bit more realistic than just the concealer. A liquid lipstick by Stila to Stay All Day. and it's almost like Lady Danger, kind of, but it's like bright, bright, bright. It's almost like a neon version of it. I love this. I've said it a million times over and over again. They're a little bit better than Lime Crime ones, but this is what the final look looks like, and I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what your thoughts are and if you would wear this.